Turbocharger. A turbocharger, technically turbo supercharger, colloquially known as turbo, is a turbine-driven forced induction device that increases an internal combustion engine power output by forcing extra compressed air into the combustion chamber. The turbocharger's compressor draws in ambient air and compresses it before enters into the intake manifold at increased pressure. This results in the greater mass of air entering the cylinders on each intake stroke. Power needed to spin the centrifugal compress and derived from kinetic energy of engine exhaust gases. When air is compressed, the oxygen molecules are compact closer together and more power combustion.
Supercharger and piston-type internal combustion engines, air compressor and blower used to increase the intake manifold pressure of the engine. Higher pressure increases the mass of air drawn into the cylinders by the pumping action of the pistons during each intake stroke. With the additional air, it is possible to burn more fuel per cycle and the power of the engine is thus increased. In vehicle piston engine, supercharging compensates for the reducing atmospheric pressure at high altitude. The development of the gas turbine, which required the constant flow of air and fuel, led to the introduction of the turbo supercharger, or simply turbocharger. A centrifugal blower powered by a small gas turbine powered by exhaust gases from cylinders of the engine, and supercharger increase intake by compressing air pressure without creating vacuum for force more air into the engine, providing a boost. With the additional air, more fuel can be added to the charge and the power of the engine is increased.
There are the three main categories of superchargers for automotive use, which are the centrifugal supercharger, centrifugal turbocharger, and positive displacement charger. The first one is the centrifugal supercharger. They are driven directly by the engine via belt drive, and the centrifugal supercharger is a specialized supercharger that pours more oxygen into an engine using natural centrifugal motion. Increased airflow into the engine helps it burn more gasoline, resulting in higher engine power production. At its most basic centrifugal supercharger is powered by the engine crankshaft and feeds compressed air into the engine. The centrifugal supercharger is usually linked to the front of the engine with a sturdy bracket, and it's operated by the engine crankshaft through a belt drive or gear. The second one is a centrifugal turbocharger. It is driven by exhaust gases. The centrifugal supercharger and the centrifugal turbocharger have a main difference called the compressor's power source. A supercharger turns which power the compressor with horsepower from the engine crankshaft, whereas a turbo utilizes the energy in the exhaust gas to spin the compressor.
The positive displacement supercharger is characterized by a fixed displacement of air per revolution, and delivery is affected only to a small amount by pressure variations. The supercharger continues to deliver extra air to the engine at the lower speeds. For applications requiring a high torque at the lower speeds, this characteristic is advantageous. It imparts the desired lagging ability to the engine, in contrast to centrifugal units where the pressure being proportional to the square of the RPM falls off rapidly as the speed is reduced. And there's have two types of positive displacement pumps or superchargers. There's our root and twin screw supercharger, and the function of each other are deliver a specific volume of air per revolution. Okay, gusto ko naman sa inyo ipakita yung itsura ng supercharger at turbocharger. Ito naman ang itsura ng supercharger. Kung nakikita nyo, siya ay mayroong belt na nakabit sa kanyang parang pinaka-hélice. Siya yung naghihigop yan, papasok ng hangin dun sa loob ng makina. Ayan, may parang siyang crankshaft pulley, kung nakikita nyo. Diyan nakakapit yung belt para gumana yan. Papakita ko naman sa inyo ngayon yung halimbawa ng turbocharger. Ito siya. Parehas lang din siya ng supercharger na nakikita nyo. Gaya nito. Ayan. Pero, ang pinagkaiba lang ng supercharger sa turbocharger, ang supercharger ay naka-belt at ang turbocharger ay nakaasa lang sa hangin sa pressure ng makina. Yung mga ganitong turbocharger, karaniwang kinakabit sa mga JDM cars, ganun. Mga karaniwang nating nakikita. Ngayon naman, papakita ko sa inyo yung positive displacement supercharger. Ganito. Ayan. Tawag dyan ay root. Karaniwang nakakabit yan sa mga Shelby GT500. Ang makinang to, maganda rin naman. Parehas lang siya kumakarga ng hangin sa makina. At ang root supercharger naman ay may crankshaft pulley din siya. Umaasa lang din siya sa belt ng makina. Kapag mabiri siya, sasabay din siya sa pag-ikot. Revolution. Papakita ko naman sa inyo ngayon yung pagkakaiba ng root at twin supercharger. Ayan. Ito yung root, mahaba. Tapos ito yung twin screw supercharger. Ayan, kung nakikita nyo to. Ang pagkakaiba ng dalawang to, ang root supercharger ay karaniwang pinakabit sa mga Shelby GT500 at ang twin screw supercharger naman ay kinakabit sa mga Dodge Hellcat na mas maganda kaysa sa root. Ang root kasi ay medyo mahina sa twin screw supercharger kasi mas malakas ang atak ng twin screw supercharger kaysa sa root. Okay, discuss ko naman ngayon yung pagkakapareho nila. Ang root tapos supercharger nakita natin nung una. Pareho silang gumagamit ng belt. Ang turbocharger naman tapos twin, pareho silang umaasa sa pressure ng sasakyan na pupasok sa loob ng makina. pressure ng hangin. Ayun. Ayun yung pagana sa kanila. Sana naman may natutunan kayo guys.
So, ang turbocharge pala ay gumagana lamang kapag kulang ang pumapasok na hangin sa ating makina. Gumagana lamang siya sa pamamagitan ng mga turbine. Yung mga turbine na yun, siya yung humihigop ng hangin at siya yung nagko-compress ng air papunta sa combustion chamber natin. At para maayos ang takbo ng ating makina at hindi ito makulangan ng hangin.